The relationship between arts and recovery is one of mutual benefit. Art can be used as a form of self-expression and healing for those in recovery, allowing them to express their emotions and experiences in a safe and creative way. Art can also provide an outlet for stress relief, helping to reduce anxiety and depression from viewers and onlookers. Artistic expressions, as you will find in this documentary, help to build self-esteem, foster positive relationships, and provide a sense of purpose. Recovery can provide an opportunity for individuals to explore their creativity through art, drumming, dancing, and other forms, allowing them to express themselves in new ways and gain insight into their own lives. Welcome to Memoriam for a Disease, COVID.
Good afternoon. My name is Izzy Gergenstein, and I'm one of the interns working on planning and executing this event. Thank you all for joining us on this solemn occasion as we come to remember and honor our loved ones who have tragically departed due to the COVID pandemic. Today is the first day of our memorial event, and it is a day of profound significance as we unite in grief to reflect on the essence of who and what has been taken away. As we look back on the devastating impact of this disease, we are reminded of not only the lives lost, but also of the intangible threads that are woven into the tapestry of our existence. The dreams that once ignited our souls, the unfulfilled plans that held promises of brighter days, the cherished moments that now reside only in our memories. Each person we commemorate today was not just a name, but a unique story, a life that was cherished, and a future that held infinite possibilities. In their absence, we feel the void they left behind, and in their memory, we find the strength to carry on. We remember the laughter they brought into our lives, the wisdom they shared, and the love that wrapped us in its embrace. They were not just individuals. They were the pillars of our families, the heartbeats of our communities, and the guiding lights in times of darkness. As we gather here, we also acknowledge the profound impact of this pandemic beyond the loss of lives. It has taken away the sense of normalcy we once took for granted, leaving us grappling with uncertainty and fear. Jobs vanished, businesses shuttered, and the world we once knew shifted beneath our feet. Confidence wavered, and self-esteem faltered as we faced isolation and adversity. Time seemed to both drag on and slip away, leaving us yearning for the moments we could never recapture. But amidst this sea of loss, we find ourselves standing shoulder to shoulder, united in our grief, and resilient in our determination to remember and rebuild. At the heart of this memorial lies a spirit of remembrance and togetherness. Today, we extend our embrace to all those who have been touched by this pandemic, understanding that our grief is not just an individual experience, but a shared journey. In the sharing of our stories and memories, we honor the lives we have lost and the profound impact they have had on our existence. We affirm that they will forever live in our hearts. As we proceed with our schedule today, let each moment be a testament to the strength of the human spirit. Our schedule for today's events is as follows. We had the drum call with the audience participation. We have our poetry reading, Invocation of the Departed, an elegy solo alto flute by Professor Kristen Stoner, a poetry reading, and some more closing drum sessions. Thank you.
My name is David. I'm going to read just a few short poems that I wrote around the time that the pandemic started. And I will try to end on something somewhat hopeful. Plague poem number 6. I find the city center deserted, flowing over with memories from a recent, simpler age. The restaurants, the shops permeate with shadows so gray that even the dust has faded. My non-existent eyes peer into windows where neither barista nor bartender serves up my usual. I am surrounded by lost echoes and empty pint glasses held high in the toast of forgetting. I have no hands to lower the cloth mask from my mouth, and no mouth to gape from behind the mask. My bodiless self wanders as a ghost along the eternal streets of an abandoned world. Plague poem number 5. The lightest breath makes a learned man panic. The loudest panic makes a burned man laugh. Let us shuffle again and deal hand after hand, till every royal cops a suicide pose, till the fronts of the cards start bleeding through the back. The air is thick with repetition. We find ourselves surrounded by wood. We are the weevils of these rooms. Before our eyes, in the rush of time, cobwebs grow and decay. Home becomes graveyard, vacuum a throw rug. We stand in the middle. We stare at the walls. At least we are among the ones lucky to be alive. Essential services. In times such as these, when ocean boils, when sky cries fire, when ground heaves with unnatural ecstasy, in this incredible era, when pandemic infects politics, when epidemic infests the wireless, when toilet paper's picture appears on milk cartons. In this age of marvels, when drive-through closes at 5, when dining room stays shuttered, when grocery shelf shows all the private parts of itself. In these odd days, when the NBA is benched, when the TSA examines dust, when Disney becomes quiet as a mouse. In these strange hours, when gas doesn't cost much, when no one's going anywhere, when the freeways crumble in the acid rain. In such an instant as this, when school's out for early summer, when families reinvent board games, when the cat wonders why the hell everyone's home all the goddamn time. In a blink of that eye, who declaims poetry? Who shares with neighbors the art of words? Whose mouth fills every empty ear in need of miracles? Thank you.
My name is Kristen Stoner, and I'm the professor of flute in the School of Music right across the street. I, like many of you, was trapped at home in the fall of 2020. And I was home with my 2 kids, single mom, definitely impacted emotionally, just sort of in this very dark space. And I didn't have the words, as David did, to put to those feelings, but I did have some music I wanted to use to express some of the sheer pain and frustration and exhaustion and just mournfulness that I was experiencing, and I knew billions of people around the world were also experiencing. The reason I used the alto flute for this piece is that it is lower than a regular flute. It's about a fourth lower than a flute, and so it has a very mellow, a very haunting, open, sad tone color to it. And then I also included a lot of what are called contemporary extended techniques for the flute to better represent the effect of crying. So there are some timbral trills where I'm trilling from one note to a different color of the same note, and then some other techniques called a tongue roll, where it's the sound of ululation, this ay 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 sort of mournful wailing sound, but created through the flute. And then also some pitch bends, some downward pitch bends that emulate the sound of crying, of sadness. So this is Elegy for Solo Alto Flute.
Okay, my name is Wendy Thornton. I'm a local writer here in Gainesville, award-winning author. I've written a whole bunch of different books, and I write poetry all the time, and I've submitted to many literary journals and won awards for my work. These are poems that I wrote during the pandemic. And in this first one, I want to say that it was based on joining the April Poetry Forum Month that we do on Facebook, where you write a poem a day, and by the end of April, you hate poetry. So this one is called Quarantine Triolet. Every small ache is a panic attack, and I am humiliated by fear. Someday we'll be posts in an almanac. Every small ache was a panic attack. Took a while for the globe to bounce back across all portions of this stricken sphere. Every small ache caused a panic attack, and we were humiliated by fear. Okay, and this one, thank you. And this one is called scrambled eggs. My husband had a mild stroke at the beginning of the pandemic, and I hated cooking and he loved it, and he could no longer cook. And it brought me back to my old days when I was a kid and I had sore throat and my mother would cook scrambled eggs for me specially. I was supposed to get my tonsils out. Dr. Kildare had a show on where the girl died having her tonsils out, and the next day my tonsils were so big they never got taken out. So this is called scrambled eggs. She stirs the almond milk into the yellow orbs, slips that fork back and forth maniacally, creating a foam of proteins and plants designed to give him, the toothless one, a chance to recuperate, to develop some strength, to come back to life when his new teeth are done. Oh, he was the one who changed her life, who made her world a better place, so she didn't mind flipping the foam into a pan, leaping back away from the buttery grease that slips out of the ground center and hisses on the counter of the flat surface stove. He was the one who made eggs for their son, whose allergy made it impossible to eat. He was the one who cooked for the others, cooked for the clans, cooked for the crowds, cooked for the mothers who needed a break. And now it was she beating the eggs in his place. So why does it remind her of all those mornings when her mother stood at the coiled cooktop and stirred up a foam of homegrown eggs and milk delivered to their door via men and a truck who knew exactly what they needed? She remembered watching her mother stir, hands on hip, everyone else fed. All would be done if it weren't for that one child with the swollen throat, the one who adored Dr. Kildare and whose tonsils never gave in. Her mother never complained at all about that unique meal for her oldest child, the frail one, the skinny one, the one who couldn't eat. All she did was stand there while everyone else ate, and she beat and beat and beat. All right. Okay. I think I'll just do this last one. This one was towards the end of it. I finally got to go to the beach and I was so grateful. Into the blue. Here is the point where the world won't matter. Wandering women roam alone. The men turn away, fishing for wishes, waiting for stars when the catch is true. Watch the seagulls capture the air, all of them hoping to enter the blue. The tern strolls white against the blue. Hold the line. The world won't matter. Use the day to inhale salt air. Here the pelican roams alone. Soon, nothing else will seem so true as you pray to the surf gods to grant your wishes. Ask for a dish of cool blue wishes, a curl of waves so infinitely blue. This is where you find what's true, that blessed state where the world still matters. One huge wave weaves forward alone, lifts you up from shore to the cool blue air. Imagine dragons in the salty air as you comprehend the miracle of wishes. Clatter of the world left alone. Enter the kingdom of watery blue. All you know of the world that matters is caught right there where the break is true. There's only one thing you know is true. Your soul craves silence and salt sweet air. This bliss you know is all that matters. Empty promises and leftover wishes blown away by the watery blue, a world you treasure together or alone. While you dream of the world alone, you realize you've hit the true mystery of this endless blue. Glide coquina on the salty air. Hold on tight to the best of wishes. Stay the course. The world does matter. Blue world matters when you're all alone. Give yourself one last wish. Remember, peace is always true. Grab that final breath of air, then fly right home into the blue. Thank you.
Something about grief. We all do it in different ways. There are some of us who will be melancholic, but there are also others who look for means of reaching out. And one of the things we want to do to end all of this, they are departed, yes, but they're not forgotten. And we would just like to have a few drum beats, what we've called the drum call. And anybody during the drum call, if you are moved to say a few words while the drumming is going on, it will not last for too long, like 10 minutes, and we'll be done. We just want people to express themselves in whichever way you find appropriate for this occasion. The heartbeats of those who are dead can't be heard again, but the drum beats of those who are living will be heard. And that's exactly why we're inviting all of you to please come and join us, and let's have some kind of drum call in memory of those who have departed. Many months ago, we all were in mourning. Morning, noon, and night. Most of us could not find our way to the streets. We all were locked into our rooms. The only beats we heard were the beats of appliances. Nowhere to go. Most of us could not step out for the fear of the virus. Today we stand on this solid ground to remember those who are gone. They might be gone from us physically. We know they're still around in spirit. Most of them left their words for us, and most of them left legacies behind. It is on this note, and the note of the drums, and the note of the drummers, and the sound from the drums, and the beat from my heart, and the beat from the drum, and the heat from the sun, all come together. I will never, ever, forget those days, the dark, long days, the dark, long nights, the dark, dark times. The feeling in my heart, the feeling of the people, the chiming of the bells. I can't tell you how many have gone. I can't tell you how many passed on. But I know for sure, as the rising of the sun, it will never be forgotten. We made a promise to ourselves that the living should remember those that are dead. I don't have their names, I don't have their places, but as the bell sounds, I don't know whether bells sound in the heavens. I'm not sure what it is like in the land